Good afternoon. This is Robert Rex with the National Weather Service office in Slidell, Louisiana, with your weekly weather briefing for this Sunday afternoon. We don't have too many things to discuss, but there are a couple of key points that should be noted for this upcoming week. We did have a pretty strong cold front come through the area this yesterday evening, and as a result, we've had quite a bit of cold air moving to the region, and that's going to be with us for the next several days. And then as we get later into the week, the pattern will transition more to a rainfall type pattern for Wednesday night and Thursday time frame. And with that in mind, keep in mind that we do have several rivers that are experiencing flood stages at this time, and we'll look at that a little more in depth. Currently, the watch situation is such to where we have small craft advisories out in the marine areas because of these higher winds and rough seas. So if you're a mariner, take heed on that. That's going to be with you at least through tomorrow morning before things settle down quite a bit. Also, as you see, we have several of the larger river basins. They're in flood right now. The main stem of the Mississippi River, the Pearl River Basin, and the Pascagoula system. So looking at our temperature forecast, this is a composite of the next 3 mornings. Basically, they'll be within a degree or two of each other as far as the low temperatures go. The lighter green shaded areas you see there, basically north of the I-10, I-12 corridor, we're looking at temperatures in a light freeze categories for the next few nights, starting tomorrow morning and running through at least Wednesday morning before things start warming up again. South of that line, there may be some spotty patches of just flirting with 32 degrees perhaps, but for the most part, they should stay below, just above freezing, but still cold nonetheless in the city and those areas in the bayou areas of the lower part of the parishes of Louisiana and along the immediate Mississippi coast as well. Looking at the rainfall that we're expecting for middle to later part of the week, we do have a system and upper level disturbance that'll be moving through once the cool air flushes out. Moisture will be returning a little bit in earnest. Looks like we could have a setup where some heavy rainfall is possible. Right now, the amounts, as you see here on this chart, are on the relatively light side, say a half an inch to an inch accumulations in about a 24-hour period. And most of this will be falling, say, late Wednesday night through most of Thursday before ending Thursday night. But right now, this is a little bit of a fluid situation. We'll have to see how the models respond and react over the next few days. And I anticipate that maybe even some more rain is possible given the situation that's trying to develop for middle of the week. So stay tuned on that, and we'll update this as needed if it looks like things will be forecasted to be a little bit worse than what we're showing here now. Looking at our river situation, river forecast, this is just for the Pearl River Basin. You can see we do have a moderate flood going on right now at Bogalusa, and that's going to be holding steady for the next several days, perhaps a week or more. And then downstream, down at Pearl River itself, again, a moderate flood just holding level. There is quite a bit of water coming down from Jackson, but that does not reflect linearly down this far. What happens is the river basin goes from one channel basically down to 3 channels by the time it gets this far south. So as a result, the water has a chance to spread out and doesn't rise as much. It's what we call attenuation. It doesn't rise as much due to the spreading out of the water at the lower end of the basin. So as a result, don't anticipate just because you hear large rises upstream that's going to be reflected downstream. Really, all it's going to do is prolong the crest for several days longer, but not really show much of a rise beyond that. Looking at the main stem of the Mississippi River, it extends all the way pretty much in the middle Mississippi Valley. Many points are in flood of various degrees, light, moderate, or even minor to moderate flood stages throughout the basin, all the way down to about Baton Rouge right now, or at least forecast to be down at Baton Rouge here shortly. This will be a developing situation over the next week, several weeks ahead, because we are still in the dead of winter and we still got quite a ways to go before we even get to the spring thaw. So this early in the year to have this kind of a high flow is somewhat unusual. So we'll be watching it closely as the weeks go on. So in summary, we are looking at cold temperatures, wintry, let's just call it winter. It is what we are in right now, at least through Wednesday. Rains return Wednesday night through Thursday, and several river basins are in flood, likely to continue for quite a while.